Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
Scammers are using the goodness of your heart to take your money. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. Stephanie is off. A local woman contacted our whistleblower hotline trying to decide if she should donate to a charity that had contacted her. She told us a pushy woman called her asking for $20 for the Breast Cancer Research and Support Fund, then sending her a letter that she says looked like a hoax. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Nicole Johnson shows us how to know if you're helping out a charity or feeding into yet another scam.
Everybody believes in the innocence of a child, the innocence of an animal.
We've all seen them, letters, signs, or calls asking for money to help out the community, oftentimes with a sad story.
Throw those things into the mixture and you tug at the heartstrings.
FM Area Foundation Director Greg Deal connects people with nonprofits. He says, be careful where you're giving your money.
Is the title something you recognize? Is it a title you recognize, but it's a little bit different? So instead of, for example, the American Heart Association, maybe it's America's Own Heart Association.
If you have any doubt, call the organization, the IRS, or log on to a website like give.org, where you can type in any charity and it'll tell you if it's real or if anyone has filed a complaint.
Might be legitimate in the eyes of the law, but it might not really be doing the work that it's purporting to be doing.
Deal goes a step beyond fraud, saying, do your research. Many charitable organizations don't actually donate as much cash as you think they are.
It tends to affect all nonprofits. People are a little bit more concerned. Are you legitimate yourself? What's happening with my dollar? So yeah, it always puts a little bit of a dark shadow on you.
Deal's wish is that you donate locally, saying that way you can actually see the impact you're making. Nicole Johnson, Valley News Live.
If you're wondering about a charity, we have links on our website to check them out. Log on to valleynewslive.com and click on the hot button. We were informed of this story through our whistleblower hotline. If you have an issue you need help uncovering, here's some advice. Call 701-237-6576. Call that number and leave your tip. Embattled North Dakota Lieutenant Governor Drew Wrigley kicked off Big Iron in Fargo this morning and dodged media questions about his affair and other things. Wrigley welcomed the international crowds and talked to them about the importance of agriculture trade with North Dakota. After his prepared remarks, the Lieutenant Governor quickly stepped away from media who were waiting to ask about his recent admission about his affair, as well as a possible bid for North Dakota Governor. He didn't want to talk to us and sped away to another meeting. Now, we did ask his staff why the Lieutenant Governor wouldn't stop and talk with us. We were told he did not have time to answer questions on camera. Join us tonight on Valley News Live 10 at 10 as we continue to talk with the parents of Tom Bierson. Bierson was an NDSU freshman who went missing after attending an off-campus party. His body was found 3 days later at an RV lot in Moorhead. Tonight on Valley News Live 10 at 10, Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop sits down with Greg and Debbie Bierson to talk about if they think their son's case has gone cold and if they think they will ever have justice. Hold on to your car door, otherwise you could be leaving a nasty door ding thanks to today's windy weather. Let's find out if things will calm down tonight, and for that, we go to Hutch for the answer.
Once again, solid advice. Make sure you wipe the chicken grease off your fingers as you're holding on to that car door the rest of the evening because it's going to remain windy. Temperatures have hit our high for the day in Fargo, 85. It's 10 degrees warmer in central South Dakota. A sizzling day with winds gusting as high as 40 miles per hour here in the valley. Breezy and warm continuing the rest of the evening. The radar did show a few sprinkles moving through the northern valley. I think that's where it stays. We'll be in the 70s after sunset. Changes coming as we close out our work week, including a chance of rain for some and cooler weather for all. I'll have the hour-by-hour details in your forecast in a minute.
Look forward to that. Thanks, Hutch.
You bet.
Hundreds of cars and trucks had to find a new route today as a rural bridge was shut down. Part of the bridge deck is falling loose and a noticeable hole has formed on this bridge near Neilsville, Minnesota, which impacts traffic in Polk and Trail counties. The hole has grown to about 2 feet by 3 feet, exposing the river below. American Crystal Sugar says about 400 acres of beets use this bridge to get to the Neilsville Piler. The counties are hoping to get a short-term fix done before the start of beet harvest. In Grand Forks, police are armed and recording. All officers on patrol have body cams to make video and audio recordings of their public interactions. Police say so far it's working out well for everyone. They say the body cams are already clearing up citizen complaints against officers in a couple of hours rather than days.
Able to pull up the body-worn camera video, sit down with the citizen, explain what we did, and we've had many occasions where the public says, hey, thanks, we understand, and they've withdrawn any complaints.
On a related note regarding surveillance video, a production team from the Discovery Channel is in Grand Forks shooting a special on the Drew Shadeen case. It's going to focus on how surveillance video was used to help solve that case. See No Evil is expected to air early next year on the Discovery Channel. A meeting is underway right now to discuss the Minnesota Medical Marijuana Program. That's a program with plenty of unanswered questions. Officials at the meeting are looking for input on whether intractable pain should be added to the list of medical conditions that qualify for the program. That's pain for which no relief or cure has been found medically. Now, the opening of a dispensary in Moorhead has been delayed, but is said to be opening before the July 1st, 2016 legal deadline. That's according to Minnesota Medical Solutions, which will operate the dispensary. Coming up tonight on Valley News Live 10 at 10, we're going to have much more on what's delaying this opening process. From Target to Home Depot to your very own credit cards. We know that our private information can be stolen, but did you also realize tax returns that you work so hard for could also be going to someone else? Alex Miller is in Washington tonight. Alex, how can we fix this?
Many members of Congress say they're not going to be able to prevent all cyber attacks, but they say they're trying to find new ways to stop as many as they can. Right now, hackers can file for your tax returns. This is, of course, a huge problem when they're your returns, but it's also a problem for taxpayers as a whole. Senator Mark Warner says the IRS has paid nearly $6 billion in inappropriate tax payments. A group of senators are reaching across the aisle to make some changes to first stop this from happening, but to make things more transparent when they do. Many times the victims aren't even notified that their Social Security number has been compromised because of hesitation with privacy laws. Senator Warner says this can happen to anyone.
Somebody can find your Social Security number, file a false tax claim. My dad had his account hacked into, and the IRS paid somebody phony his tax refund. And let's face it, this is a brave new world. We're going to have to be constantly vigilant and constantly improving our methods.
The legislation would also specifically classify this type of fraud as a felony.
Senator Warner is also advocating for a 4-digit PIN code that would be in addition to your Social Security number to give you that extra layer of security. The Senate Finance Committee will take up this bill tomorrow morning. Efforts are underway to make the bison the country's national mammal. Senator John Hoeven of North Dakota likes the idea. He's introduced legislation. The bill is called the National Bison Legacy Act, and according to Senator Hoeven, it will recognize the significance of the bison. Bison were once hunted almost to extinction, but have since recovered to the point where they could be reintroduced to the wild. The bison is the largest land mammal in the U.S. and exists now in all 50 states. It's Tuesday. That means it's time for our restaurant report card. And coming up tonight, only on Valley News Live 10 at 10, we'll pay a visit to Grand Forks with some astonishing numbers that you won't want to miss. Find out which eatery needs to clean up its act. Remember to like Valley News Live on Facebook. You can follow the latest news, weather, and breaking news updates anytime on your feed. Just search Valley News Live, like our page, and you'll stay informed throughout the entire day. Later on Valley News Live at 6, gearing up for this weekend's big game between UND and NDSU.
But coming up next in weather, it's been another hot day in the valley, well above average. Cooler weather is on the way, and for some, a chance of rain. Details in your forecast are next.